Alaska and United Airlines are canceling more than 100 flights each day right now over a federal grounding order of Boeing 737 MAX 9s. Alaska Airlines just announcing that cancellations will continue through Sunday. The FAA is investigating whether Boeing complied with safety standards after a door plug blew off in an Alaska Airlines jet mid-flight. So here to talk about the fallout of Boeing, we welcome in Ed Pearson. He's a former Boeing 737 program senior manager, current executive director at the Foundation for Aviation Safety. Ed, thank you so much for giving us some of your time. I want to start with the Fed's grounding, the MAX 9s that have that door plug feature, and then Alaska Airlines canceling all flights on their MAX 9s first through Saturday, now just extending it to Sunday. Ed, do you think that cancellation will ultimately be extended even further?
Thank you for having me. And yes, I definitely think there's a high probability that as they dig into this, they're going to find out that there's a lot more issues here. So yes, I would expect that to go further than what you currently hear.
And a lot of the details that, are starting to come out are pretty eye-opening. I mean, and we can start with that door plug blowout mid-flight. What do you think will be the end result of all of these investigations? Will the MAX 9 be permanently grounded?
Well, we've been watching the MAX for several years now. We've been closely monitoring our group, and the team of us have been doing this. And so this isn't a surprise. We're just so thankful that nobody died. But, I was talking to my wife last night, and she's, the trauma that these passengers felt was just, I'm sure just horrible. But to kind of just say, I think that the MAX airplanes as a whole, not just the Dash 9, but the Dash 8, which is currently flying, there's a lot of issues with these airplanes. We've been reporting this. There's been safety incidents that the public just doesn't know about. There's been a whole bunch of production quality defects, unfortunately, over 20 serious defects since the plane was returning to service, really. So there's a lot here.
Yeah, there certainly is. You mentioned the MAX 9, you mentioned the MAX 8. What is it about this specific aircraft that seems to be causing problems, and why does it seem like we don't see it with other aircraft?
Well, I think the history of the MAX, where it's gone, where it came from, there's obviously, it's well documented that there was a rush to design the plane. There was a rush to produce the plane. And, when you do that kind of thing, you end up with, unfortunately, two tragedies that killed 346 people. So this is clearly a leadership issue. The very top of the company, the board of directors, the CEO, the C-suite, they've been leading this company, and I hate to tell you that there's a lot of problems right now with this company and production quality control, engineering, et cetera. So, and it's really heartbreaking because there's great employees in this company, but the leadership is a mess right now.
What do you think the impact is going to be for Boeing? I mean, I think we keep talking about the MAX 9 specifically, but I mean, obviously there are going to be ripple effects.
Yes, unfortunately, it's going to be, gigantic effects. It's going to be a major problem to overcome, but much better than a tragic accident, right? Another tragic accident killing people. So in that regard, this is a gigantic wake-up call. And I want to tell you also that the FAA leadership, the Department of Transportation leadership, they have responsibilities, and I feel like they've been failing on the job, and these are well documented failures. So it needs a big shakeup, and passengers need to get upset. They need to talk to their legislators, et cetera.
Your words there, I don't think causing a lot of comfort, even though they may be the truth. What do you think these new revelations mean when it comes to the safety of air travel overall?
Well, I'm only speaking right now about the 737 MAX. I mean, I think that the industry has a great reputation, with the exception of the 737 MAX overall. But, a lot of people have talked about the importance of all the pressures you're seeing in the aviation system. There's for example, Captain Dennis Taser, American Airlines. He's been very vocal about the pressure the system is under. Passengers and people have been hearing about near misses and on the ground in the air. And what we're talking about is there's a whole bunch of incidents that they don't even know about. I mean, there's literally been hundreds of these things. And if people want to know more, they can go to our Foundation website. We have an incident report tab where you can actually look at the select reports that we picked in the U.S. So this really needs a complete top to bottom overhaul. I'm not sure if Congress can do it, but I think if the passengers and the public really demand it, we'll see change that we need. But it's not an easy fix. It's not about just getting this one thing fixed and then calling it good.
You know, I have my last question for you, Ed. You know, a lot of times people don't pay attention, you know, to the type of aircraft they're on until they're actually physically in the seat. That, you know, they take out the card in front of them and they see the type of plane. Should people be concerned if they're on any type of 737?
Well, I would speak, you know, the 737-8 and the 737-9 are the two MAX airplanes that are in service. Right now, the -9 is grounded. But, you know, I fly all the time, and even I schedule myself away from a MAX, and it turns out they swapped the planes at the last minute, and I walked on the plane, and I sat down and looked at that card that you talked about, and I realized I was on a MAX, and I got up and walked off the plane. I didn't take that flight. So, you know, that's what it's going to have to take. I mean, until, you know, Boeing feels it in the pocketbook, they're going to just try to do a quick solution and then move on and hope that the public forgets. And this is really a tragedy waiting to happen again. And we work closely with victim families, and they've been out there fighting for all of our safety and really trying to make changes. And it's very frustrating. So we want to seize this opportunity to really let people know what's going on, because I think generally people are unaware of it.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.